72 tackles for 0.5 sacks, 29 points per game, 34-30 in the standings. A 4-3 shootout win over Pittsburgh and a 4-1 comeback over Washington. That's the statistical snapshot of Philadelphia sports this week, and it shows a city dealing with major roster moves, injuries, and momentum swings across multiple teams. Welcome to Philly Statline. The biggest headline this week comes from the Eagles' defense. Defensive tackle Jordan Davis just signed a massive 3-year, $78 million contract extension, making him the highest-paid nose tackle in NFL history. Davis earned it after a monster season with 72 tackles for 0.5 sacks, 9 tackles for loss, and 6 passes defended, while starting all 17 games and anchoring one of the NFL's most physical defensive fronts. Locking Davis up keeps the core of the defensive line intact as the Eagles continue shaping their roster for another run. The front office has also been active adding depth across the defense and secondary as they build around quarterback Jalen Hurts and a roster that remains one of the most talented in the NFC. The philosophy is clear: control the line of scrimmage, maintain defensive dominance, and keep the championship window open. With Davis now secured long-term, the Eagles' defensive identity stays intact heading into the next phase of roster building. Over in the NBA, the Sixers are dealing with a major setback. All-star guard Tyrese Maxey is expected to miss at least 3 weeks with a finger tendon injury suffered in a loss to Atlanta. Maxey has been the engine of the offense this season, averaging a career-high 29 points per game along with 6.7 assists for 0.1 rebounds and 2 steals per game. Philadelphia currently sits at 34-30 and 8th in the Eastern Conference, and the timing of this injury could not be worse with the playoff race tightening. Without Maxey running the offense, the Sixers have already slipped to a 1-2 record during this stretch, forcing more ball-handling duties onto role players and putting pressure on the rest of the lineup to generate scoring. The Sixers' season has been defined by injuries and lineup instability, and now the challenge becomes staying competitive in the standings while waiting for their star guard to return. Every game matters as the postseason race tightens across the Eastern Conference. Meanwhile, on the ice, the Flyers delivered one of their most exciting stretches of the week with a dramatic 4-3 shootout win over Pittsburgh. Forward Trevor Zegras scored the deciding shootout goal and added an assist, while goaltender Dan Vladar stopped 20 shots and all 3 shootout attempts to secure the win. The Flyers followed that momentum with a strong 4-1 victory over Washington, where Travis Konechny helped spark the offense alongside Zegras during a second-period surge that flipped the game in Philadelphia's favor. But consistency remains the challenge. The Flyers quickly ran into a difficult matchup against the Rangers and dropped a 6-2 decision, despite goals from rising rookie Matvei Michkov and veteran captain Sean Couturier. That pattern has defined the Flyers' season. Flashes of explosive scoring, young players showing promise, but still searching for stability game to game as the team continues building toward the future. Looking ahead to baseball, anticipation is building around the Phillies as the organization prepares for another season with championship expectations. One of the biggest announcements recently is that franchise legend Chase Utley will be inducted into the Phillies Wall of Fame later this year, honoring one of the most iconic players from the team's championship era. So across Philadelphia this week, the themes are clear. The Eagles are securing the core of their defense. The Sixers are battling through injuries in a tight playoff race. The Flyers are showing flashes of young offensive talent while fighting for consistency. And the Phillies are preparing for another season with the city expecting October baseball. And in Philadelphia, every stat, every injury report, and every roster move matters. Full breakdown is up now on Philly Statline.